Hi, I'm Catherine. I did my project over verbal and physical refusal in a 4-year-old child with autism. My client was 4 years old. He just turned 4 in September and has been a client at our center since May. He received his diagnosis when he was 3. He attends our center 8:30 to 3:30 Monday through Friday and has a morning and afternoon therapist. The target behavior, like I said, was verbal and physical refusal. And bear with me, I'm going to read this definition because it's very long. The behavior was defined as any occurrence of verbally or physically refusing to comply with a demand placed by a therapist within 5 seconds of that demand being placed. This could include any or all of the following: putting head down, closing eyes, rubbing eyes with hands, open or closed fists, dropping to the ground, pulling away from the therapist, resisting physical prompts such as locking arms to side or refusing to open, like a clenched fist, bending forward at the waist, or verbally stating no. A non-example might include not completing a demand when the therapist did not have the child's full attention, or providing an incorrect response. We used frequency tracking in our iPad system like we would for any other behavior that we were tracking. And we chose this because the instances were very clear and it made more sense to use a frequency tracking system for this. We used ABAB design, and the reason for this was that my supervisor thought it would be the best approach for this client for the project. During baseline, if the problem behavior was exhibited, therapists were not required to follow through with the demand unless there was a safety concern. So if the client's behavior posed a threat to himself or to another, then they would remove the child from that situation. Treatment included guided compliance, high probability sequence of maintenance tasks, and break requests. If the client demonstrated the problem behavior, the therapist was to use the least intrusive, most effective prompt, guided compliance, needed to complete the task. Once the task was completed, the therapist was to prompt 3 to 5 high probability maintenance tasks or compliancy tasks, touch your nose, show me clapping, things like that, to regain compliance. After compliance was regained, they would restate the original SD, and once that behavior was followed through, that demand was followed through with, the therapist would prompt a demand for an item or a request for a break, dependent on the estimated function of the behavior at the time. They would reinforce this demand with 20 seconds of access or a 20-second break without any additional reinforcement. IOA was obtained 35% of sessions, and it was collected by a float or a supervisor. And we also did a treatment fidelity checklist as well. IOA ended up being 100% across all sessions. The results of my project, I guess, is that the intervention was effective. I'm going to show you a graph. I don't know that it's going to turn around because I can't turn my camera around. But as you can see by the data, there was an initial increase during the first intervention phase and then a drop off. And then after baseline was withdrawn again, it continued to decrease. Generalization took place because we always meet with our parents during any time there's a new behavior intervention plan put into place so that they might be able to run the intervention plan at home when the target behavior occurs. I think that this intervention worked because we were able to follow through with demands and were able to provide replacement behavior and functional communication for those needs and those wants. I appreciate your time and thank you for watching.